Hi everyone, I am sitting here with someone that you may or may not know or recognize. Angela Verne is on our praise team at 1047. Her and her family have been long involved in different ways in the church and had the opportunity to see their youth grow up into the church and through the church and go to national youth gatherings and all kinds of different things. But now she's serving in a very different position. She's a part of our board of trustees and she is the chairperson. And you're thinking to yourself, board of trustees. In my old church, the board of trustees was the people who took care of the property. Well, that was true then, but that's not what this name means. When we transition to what we call policy-based governance or accountable leadership model, the board of trustees is actually very much like the church council. Operates very differently, but that's what it would kind of equate to. So to help us understand a little bit of our governance model, the Board of Governance and policy-based governance. Tell us what that word means, policy-based governance, or that phrase means, and what you have learned, in your time, we've read books, we've had the opportunity to gather together to do some training. We've had a coach come in too and speak to us to help us understand, to make sure that we're operating correctly. So share with us, what is the position? What is the role?
Well, I must tell you that before, when the Board of Trustees came out initially, it's been almost 15 years now. It's been a while,
It's been a while. I've been here
so.
6, and it was before that.
I wasn't sure what the purpose was, and I think I thought more of it as someone that controls the finances and everything like that, and I've learned so much more. We are a governing board. We really work on policies. We have policies that we look over and that guide us, okay? Mm-hmm. And so we get reports and things from the core staff for each of our meetings, and we review those. We talk about those. We have questions for the core staff, or Pastor Andy as well. And so it's not that he answers to us, but we represent the congregation. So we represent you as members. And so we want to make sure that we are using, that our core staff is using their gifts and talents to fulfill the mission that we have here at St. Paul.
Yeah, because policy-based governance, the fiduciary piece, the money
Right.
piece, is actually not where your main focus is to be. You're supposed to give oversight to it, and you write policies for that. So I answer the policies mm-hmm. that you have set and that maybe the congregation has asked to have a part of it. So I can't go out and buy a Maserati or anything like that.
I know you'd like to, so.
So, but you're on the, if you kind of like draw it up like a pyramid, it's almost more like you're doing some visioning, right? And
yes.
You're having the opportunity to kind of do some forecasting and some thinking out a ways to help guide the congregation, just not through the next year, but the next 3
Absolutely.
or 5 or 10. And it's just not the church, it's the church and school together because it's one ministry. So
yes.
a very important role.
Well, one of the other things is the ministry action teams. We used to have different groups of people all throughout the church.
They'd be called boards.
Boards,
yeah.
Yes. And so now we've moved to ministry action teams, which we also oversee and can again make sure that they're following policies that have been set. Mm-hmm. For me as a teacher, I kind of think of it as like we have a set of classroom rules and expectations, and we want to make sure that everyone in the class or church or leaders of the church are following those rules. So it's kind of like that checks and balance kind of system, mm-hmm. just to make sure that you don't go out and buy a Maserati. That with our Freedom to Dream Fund, I guess that would So and with the ministry action teams, we have long-term ministry teams, mm-hmm. such as the Board of Finance, the Board of the school yep. board.
Yeah, it'd be a ministry action team, school board ministry action team,
yes.
or the endowment fund ministry action team.
So those are long-standing teams that aren't going anywhere. But then we could have a short-term ministry action team, such as a call to ministry. That's something that we've had in the past.
Freedom to Dream, where we're visioning for the future,
right.
which will be short-term. It's about 9 months, and that will stop meeting.
Absolutely.
So that the long-term ones, just for understanding, it's a little different, like we said, from the board. The long-term ministry action team they're kind of doing a lot of the grunt work,
Mm-hmm.
like the HR Finance Board. So they work with our finance people, our CFO Tracy,
Right.
and they put together the budget. Then it goes to you for
Right.
questions and approval.
Yes.
And then it goes to the congregation for final questions and approval.
Absolutely.
So that's the process, you know. So that takes kind of a special group of gifted people for HR finance. You know, not everybody is in the numbers
Right,
or
right.
maybe good at dealing with the HR side of just working with people on staff.
And so ministry action teams are another way that congregants and members can get involved, and that's, you know, based on their gifts and talents that God has given them. So I think that's definitely important. And one thing I did want to say is that when I said that they report to us, monthly, they just kind of let us know what's going on within their ministry, so that we can again make sure or think about, is it intentional and following the mission that we have at our church.
Right,
So
which is in your area.
absolutely.
Yep, you know, that mission and ministry. What are we doing? What are we moving towards? How is it accomplishing these things? So to help us maybe understand policies, maybe just a little bit more, I just had this thought. Most of those policies, in fact, I think all the policies are written in a negative, aren't they? So it's, you will not
Right.
do A, B, C, or D.
Right.
You will not propose a budget that is out of line with what could possibly come in giving, for example.
Exactly.
You know, and so that kind of helps set the rule box
Yes.
of what you will not do, and then the people that are actually doing ministry work, which is the congregation,
Right, absolutely.
has the freedom to go, so this we can do. Yes, it's not saying no to it. It's saying you're free to go and do these different things. And so, yeah, it actually helps move ministry along a little
Yes,
quicker,
it
because we
does.
don't have to come to approval for everything.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, you know, especially like, hey, we're going to start a Bible study. Do we need approval for that? No,
No.
we just go start a Bible study.
Right.
You know, and that's a good thing. So, yeah, so all different opportunities. Hey, thanks for being here. I know we haven't, well, no, we had the Board of Trustees at another time when they
Yes.
were redoing and going over the Constitution and bylaws to bring us in line with Florida laws, which we were a
Yes.
little out at that time. That's all been done, and it's been approved by the congregation about a year or two ago. And so appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining us and listening in, and God's blessings to you.